Has Medical Properties Trust MPW got you spooked? Worried about wild price swings in MPW, but still looking for some really good dividend yields? Have you considered this property? Physicians Realty Trust, or DOC. It's sporting currently a dividend yield of about 6%, and there's been slow but somewhat muted AFFO growth. Now we're looking at AFFO, the adjusted funds from operations, as this is another REIT like MPW. But is this a good REIT? It's quite a small company at about 3.5 billion market cap, but it does have a BBB Standard & Poor's credit rating, which is not perfect, but it's also not too bad either. Now, what does this mean in terms of potential returns? Well, if we switch this over to the normal multiple, so this is running at about 19.2 times price to AFFO, kind of like the price to earnings multiple that we see in industrial stocks. What we're seeing by the end of 2024 is the potential for a total rate of return of about 43%, which is about 20% per year. Now that includes both price appreciation from the current price to return to this price to AFFO ratio multiple, but it also includes that dividend yield each year as well, so it's a combination there. Now, is this a secure and guaranteed investment? Heck no. Neither is MPW. But here we can see from the analyst estimates for AFFO, it's been relatively consistent. The estimates haven't changed too much over the long term, over the last 6 months. And we can see some very, very small expected dividend growth here as well in 2024. So this is not a dividend grower like MPW. They haven't been growing their dividends strong and consistently. But they do have a more manageable debt load. They don't have the same sort of concentration risk with a single tenant potentially in trouble and then potentially impacting the company too much in the same way that MPW has. They've got a more diversified tenant base, lesser debt, and therefore should be more sturdy and more stable. But this is a current dividend yield. It's not the highest, and it's not growing as fast as MPW's has been growing in the past. Now, of course, MPW's dividend yield will not grow as quickly in the future. Yeah, that's okay. Physicians Realty Trust also will not have a strongly growing dividend, but the dividend yield at the start here is reasonable. And it's important to note as well, as we begin to look at the analysts' estimates and how accurate they are, they do a reasonable job estimating AFFO 2 years ahead, and with a 20% margin of error, they get it right some of the time. When we're only looking 1 year ahead, they actually get it wrong more often than not. So do take these estimates with a grain of salt. This is not a slam dunk investment. It has a moderate dividend yield. That dividend is not going to grow, but I think this is a much more sort of stable investment than what we would see with MPW. And I think there's a potential here after the price declines over the last 3 or 4 months. I think there's a potential here for the prices to gain again, giving us some capital appreciation on top of a reasonable starting dividend yield here. So, hit me up in the comments down below. Is Physicians Realty Trust currently a company that you're invested in, or is it one that you're looking to invest in? If it's not one that you're interested in, let me know why and what you're looking at instead. I'll catch you soon.